Welcome back to the Action Zone. You're watching Undisputed Wrestling Desk, where WWE comes alive. Subscribe and get ready for the latest updates. The wrestling world was shaken to its core by a storyline no one expected, one that portrayed the sudden fall of one of its greatest fictional heroes, a character inspired by the intensity, charisma, and passion of legendary performers. In this dramatic narrative, the fictional version of Seth Rollins, known to fans as the Visionary, suffers a catastrophic in-ring incident that sends emotional shockwaves throughout the community. While entirely fictional, the storyline is crafted to explore themes of accountability, safety, and the emotional burden carried by performers and their families. It serves as a reminder of the unseen pressures behind the lights, action, and adoring crowds, demonstrating that even the most powerful heroes within the world of scripted entertainment can face danger when systems fail them. A preventable disaster. Within the storyline, in this reimagined tale, the tragic event is framed as a preventable accident that exposes the weaknesses of fictional safety protocols within the wrestling universe. The match is written to show how a high-risk move gone wrong, combined with overlooked warning signs, cascades into a dramatic emergency. This narrative choice highlights the importance of listening to performers, honoring their instincts, and respecting boundaries. The fictional character raises concerns about the match layout, the condition of the ring, and the overall pacing, but his fears are brushed aside in favor of maintaining the show's rhythm. This deliberate storytelling choice creates a dialogue about the tension between spectacle and safety, emphasizing the need for responsibility at every level of production in fictional entertainment. The moment everything changed. In the storyline, a routine sequence goes off track when a risky maneuver is executed under conditions that were previously flagged as unsafe. The fictional injury that follows is not portrayed as a freak accident. It is woven into the narrative as the result of complacency, miscommunication, and the prioritization of spectacle over the well-being of performers. Emergency personnel within the story arrive quickly, but their effectiveness is hampered by misplaced equipment and chaotic surroundings. These details serve the thematic purpose of showing how even small oversights can snowball into devastating consequences. The storyline uses this moment as a turning point, a dramatic catalyst forcing the fictional wrestling world to confront deep-rooted issues. A partner's heartbreak and strength. One of the most emotional elements of this fictional story is the character modeled after Becky Lynch, who is scripted to experience the event firsthand. She watches the match from backstage, unaware that the moment will redefine her world. When the injury occurs, she rushes to the ring, desperate for answers and terrified by the uncertainty before her. Her storyline grief becomes a powerful anchor in the narrative, grounding the spectacle in raw humanity. The depiction of her emotional journey, balancing strength, sorrow, confusion, and resolve, magnifies the tragedy while avoiding real-world harm. Her struggle becomes symbolic of the resilience required not only by performers, but by all individuals who must carry on after unexpected adversity. A community united in grief. As the storyline evolves, the fictional wrestling community stands together in mourning. Performers from across promotions, friends, rivals, newcomers, and veterans share stories of how the fallen hero inspired them. Tributes highlight his mentorship, his dedication to the craft, and his role as a leader behind the scenes. These sections of the story focus on unity, compassion, and mutual support, emphasizing the real-life camaraderie that exists within the wrestling industry while ensuring all events remain safely within fictional bounds. The purpose is to spotlight the emotional bonds formed behind the curtain, reinforcing the truth that the people who bring larger-than-life characters to television are connected through deep respect and shared experience. Leadership and responsibility in the fictional universe. In this narrative, the wrestling organization responds to the tragedy with introspection and reform. The fictional executive figurehead announces sweeping new safety protocols designed to protect performers and prevent similar storylines from unfolding in the future. This shift is written to highlight accountability, progress, and the necessity of evolving standards. The story emphasizes that positive change can come from acknowledging mistakes and striving for better systems. While completely fictional, this element reflects genuine real-world conversations about athlete safety and organizational responsibility across all sports and performance industries, unveiling systemic weaknesses in the storyline. To push the narrative further, the story incorporates revelations about long-standing issues with outdated procedures and ignored warnings. These are not real claims about any real company. They are fictional devices used to explore the consequences of neglect within a high-stakes environment. Characters come forward with stories of underreported injuries and fears of speaking out, illustrating a system that must confront its flaws to protect its performers. This section adds depth and realism to the fictional universe while ensuring no real-world harm or misinformation is involved. The legacy of a fictional hero. The most meaningful part of this rewritten story is the legacy left behind by the fallen character. Instead of focusing solely on the tragedy, the narrative shifts toward hope, progress, and transformation. A fictional foundation is created in his honor, dedicated to improving safety conditions, offering assistance to injured performers, and advocating for transparency and reform across the wrestling world. This storyline development reframes loss into a catalyst for growth, symbolizing how people often honor loved ones in meaningful, constructive ways. Fans rally with purpose and compassion. The fictional wrestling universe's fanbase becomes a force for good in this retelling. Instead of responding with anger or division, supporters unite to raise awareness, celebrate the character's legacy, and promote positive change. They organize fundraisers, share memories, and champion the cause of performer safety. The story emphasizes the powerful connection between fans and performers, treating audiences not as passive consumers but as a caring community. This direction adds emotional richness while avoiding sensationalism or harmful claims. A new direction for the wrestling world. As the tale reaches its conclusion, the focus turns toward the future. The fictional partner of the fallen hero faces a crossroads, whether to continue her journey in the industry or step away to heal. Her internal conflict adds maturity and depth to the narrative, showing the emotional complexity of balancing passion with personal well-being. Meanwhile, the wrestling world commits to building a safer, more compassionate environment. Performers are empowered to voice concerns, protocols are strengthened, and a renewed commitment to safety becomes the central message of the story. Honoring a legacy through growth. The rewritten storyline ends not in despair, but in a determined push toward a better future. The fictional death of the character is used as a narrative tool to highlight the necessity of transparency, responsibility, and progress within the wrestling universe. Through heartfelt tributes, safety reforms, and the resilience of those left behind, the story becomes a reminder that even the darkest chapters can spark meaningful change. The hero's legacy lives on in every performer who steps into a safer ring, every fan who advocates for respect and compassion, and every storyline that honors the importance of human life both inside and outside the spotlight.